Before we get started, we get our smoker fired up and bring it to temperature around 300 degrees. That way it's ready when the ham is prepped. We start with a fully cooked spiral ham from Walmart. And as you unwrap the ham, you want to save the packet and all the juices from the packaging. Since the ham is already fully cooked, the juices are completely safe to use, and we will be using them later to add flavor. Next, we place the ham on an upside-down wire cooling rack. Michael will show you later in this video why this rack is such a game changer. Before seasoning, we pat the ham dry. Then we add a light coating of Dijon mustard as a binder. You can also use oil or butter if you prefer. The binder doesn't affect the flavor, it simply helps the seasoning stick evenly. For seasoning, we use a sweet pork rub, where the first ingredients in the ingredient list are brown sugar and sugar. This type of rub is perfect for ham because pork really benefits from the sweetness, especially when it's going to be finished with the glaze. The sugar helps create a beautiful caramelized exterior while balancing the salty and smoky flavors. We coat the ham generously on all sides and then place it in the refrigerator for 1 hour to let the seasoning set. Now I want to take a moment to talk about the rack that Michael is using, because honestly it makes the entire process easier from start to finish. This is just a standard wired cooling rack flipped upside down. It allows the ham to sit slightly elevated, and the rack acts almost like a handle. It gives you so much more control. You can slide it, rotate it, and spin the ham while it's on the smoker without ever having to grab the ham itself. This is especially helpful during the glazing process because instead of lifting the ham over and over, you can simply rotate it on the rack and glaze evenly on all sides. At this point, the temperature of the smoker should be about 225 degrees. We use a competition blend in our Pit Boss. We like this blend because it's mild and balanced. It adds a subtle smoky flavor without overpowering the natural sweetness of our ham or the glaze. Place the ham in the smoker for 1 hour, making sure it's not positioned directly over the heat pot. We use the MEATER XL Pro to monitor internal temperature, ambient temperature, target temperature, and estimated cook time. While the ham is in its first phase, we're going to prepare the juices that it will finish cooking in. We start with the original drippings from the ham. We add orange juice, the seasoning packet, and then we pour everything into the foil pan. Next, we'll add butter and brown sugar and mix it all together to create a rich, flavorful base. Now we'll increase the smoker temperature slightly to 235 degrees. We place the ham directly into the juices we just created and return it to the smoker. The ham will cook these juices for about 3 hours. The reason we put the ham into the juices is to prevent it from drying out and to really build that deep, rich flavor. The ham will stay in the smoker until the internal temperature reaches 130 degrees. Now it's time to make the final glaze. We start by adding orange juice to the original spice packet that came with the ham, and we mix that together. Next, we will add a bit of the pan drippings, followed by a drizzle of honey. This glaze is sweet, rich, and packed with flavor, and it's the final layer that really takes this ham over the top. When you're glazing your ham, it is important to take your time. Make sure you get into all the nooks and crannies and coat it completely. The glaze helps to lock in the moisture and creates a beautiful, slightly crispy, caramelized crust on the outside of the ham. Once it's fully glazed, the ham goes back into the smoker until the internal temperature reaches 140 degrees. This final phase takes about 1 hour. Now that the ham is finished smoking, we transfer it to a foil pan and we let it rest for 1 full hour. Resting is very important as it allows the juices to redistribute so every bite stays tender and moist. While the ham is resting for the final time, we pour the remaining juices over the top. This adds even more moisture and flavor to the already deliciously flavored ham. Now we're going to remove the ham from the foil pan and carefully place it on the cutting board. At this point, the ham has rested, the juices have settled, and it's ready to be sliced. You can see how glossy and tender it looks. That glaze has set beautifully and the ham is incredibly moist. We follow a natural spiral cut, slicing straight down to create even, easy to serve pieces. This method keeps the slices intact, it makes serving simple, and it really shows off just how juicy the ham turned out. And just like that, the ham is ready to serve. It's juicy, tender, and perfectly glazed, and absolutely worth the time that it took to make. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and leave us a comment. Let us know if you try this ham or if you have any questions.